It's your life. You have your own journey, you have your own path, and our paths can never look alike, but we can go through similar experiences that make us feel like we can relate, and those are the experiences that bring us together and make us all connected as parents, especially. What's up guys, welcome back to another episode of Life with Indie Mother. If you're new to this channel, hi, my name is Indie Mother, aka Mama Fabian, and I'd like to welcome you to the Life with Indie Mother family. Woo! If you're new to this channel, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and join the gang. I can't remember the last time I took this phone or actually I'm still not using my camera, but I took this phone and actually recorded a video. Imposter syndrome has been kicking my ass for days. Like I don't know what's happening, and it's not like I'm having like a creative block or anything, but like I don't know how to explain it. Anyway, on today's video, I know the what is it called, the headline or the caption, what is it called by the, you see, I'm even forgetting these things because this is how long I've now been in front of this camera. The topic of this video is a bit dramatic, but we are going to deal with it. So let's get on into the video. Some of the lessons that I've been able to learn from having kids in my early 20s. For those who don't know, I'm a mom of two. Fabian is now turning 6 years old, so I had him in 2017. Yes, I had him in 2017, meaning I was pregnant in 2016, which was like, I was how old by then? I was 21, yeah. So by the time I was giving birth to him, I was like 21 years, you know, had no job, had nothing to my name. I was just Wendy, like I had nothing. And I would sit down and I would think like, oh my goodness, let me tell you something. It never hit me that I got a kid until like 2 years ago. Even I was like, wait, what the hell was I thinking? What the hell was I doing? I hadn't finished uni at the time, you know, like there was so much that I needed to do before getting to the space that I was, but I was there, you know, so there was no way I could have like said, okay, you know what, I'm not going to do this, let me just stop this pregnancy in the middle and be like, you know what, I can't do this anymore, as in it's enough. So I just had to keep on with it. So it never actually hit me that I was pregnant until like 2 years ago, when I was looking at Fabian and I was like, wait, huh? It's a whole, I still do the same thing right now, because I look at him and I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe that you've made it this far, you know. And I would have been having 2 kids by now, because now my daughter would have turned like 2 years. So I would have been looking at them both like, I'm a mom of 2. Anyway, the thing that I had to fast track because of being pregnant early is I had to mature faster, of course. Like I had to learn how to make decisions, not just based on me, but based on like, okay, I'm making this decision, I have to think of these kids first and then think about myself after. And it's a bad thing in the sense that, especially if you're a people pleaser and you're trying to stop being a people pleaser, it makes you a people pleaser even more, because now you end up putting other people's needs before you. In this case, these are your kids' needs, and when it comes to your kids, there is no compromise. Like for a parent, you feel like, especially because you're trying to break all this generational curses and everything, you feel like you just have to do some things for them so that you can prove to yourself that yes, I'm not doing what my parents did for me, or I'm doing what I said I would do for my kids that my parents didn't do for me, you understand? So it carries a lot of weight as compared to like if you were doing it for other people. So basically, you're putting your needs last to be able to please your kids, to be able to do everything for your kids that you would utajinyima, because you're just like, you know what, I don't need this right now. And it's not just like about financially, it means like even emotionally, like you will overexert yourself to make sure that your kids feel loved, your kids feel like they were wanted, your kids feel like they're safe. Because when kids don't feel like they're safe, even they start having all these tantrums, they start having all these bad behaviors that just start coming out of nowhere. And then obviously when your kids are going through something, they're going to start digressing and start doing things they never used to. They had stopped doing, like peeing in the bed. You'll see them starting to pee in the bed again. That's when you know there's something up with your kid. So having to grow up faster and having to be able to make decisions based not on how I feel, but more on what is needed and what really works at the moment, stopped me from being able to make like reckless decisions, because your early 20s are for like reckless behavior, you understand? Like you do whatever, whenever, you know, you come back home anytime that you want, unakosa kurudi home, unatext mzazi unamwambia sikuji nini utadu, you know, you do all these things. But by having kids at that age, it means that you have to stop doing those things. Basically, you just have to make more mature decisions, unfortunately. So if you don't want to be mature at an early age and you want to keep doing what you're doing, don't have kids in your early 20s. Okay, another thing that I've learned, or another thing that I can actually say this are skills that I've been able to gain because of having kids in my early 20s, is financial literacy, or like financial, how do I say it? Yani kuchunga tu kile niko nayo, you understand? In the sense that, first of all, I don't sit down and I'm like if Fabian wants a toy and we're going for shopping, I'll get him the toy. If I can afford the toy, I will get him the toy. I really don't see the big deal. I actually sit down and I'm like, why did our parents used to nyima us these things? Because I'm just like, it's 400 bob, 300 bob, you know, like just a small car. Chukua malizana na hiyo story. You know, the kid is happy. You have one less tantrum and you move on with your life. You understand? So it made me become like a bit, not a bit. It made me become a lot. It made me become very financial. It made me become financially aware, basically, of like what I have, what I don't have, what I can afford, what I can't afford, what I am willing to overlook to be able to afford some other things, what I'm able to, you know, cut down to be able to afford something that is much better. You know, example, you know, you'd be making your money, because I remember when I started being a flight attendant before, I hadn't moved out of home. I was still staying at home, actually, now that I think about it. You're not paying for anything, you're not paying for any bills, so your money is your money. It's just coming to your pocket. Your time, you know, you're not even, because uko kwa mzazi amechukua mtoto ni kama ni wake, yeye ndo anafanya most of the things, you know. Of course, the dad is also doing his own thing, so you just feel like, niko na hii pesa yote, wacha ninunue tu nguo, wacha ninunue hii, wacha ninunue hii. So it became like, at that time before I moved out, like it felt like I had so much money, you know, to do a lot of stupid stuff. So I just buy like stupid things, manguo, you know, even though you couldn't Fabian matoi mingi, like just spending money recklessly. But then it reached a point I was just like, you know what, you can't afford to be spending money like this, and you have a kid here and you're thinking about, you know, like they're going to be starting school soon, and let me tell you, kids grow out of clothes very fast. So you're thinking he's going to need new clothes very soon, he's going to need kwenda hosi, because that time I don't think I had insurance yet. Yeah, no, I did have insurance, but before we went back to work, I didn't have insurance. So you're thinking how, you know, you have to pay for this baby jabs and stuff like that. So you start sitting with your money, you're looking at it like this, you think all the things you could buy with it that would make you happy, or the things that you don't, you know, there's just that time you just want to spend money on things that you don't need, but you just want to spend money on them so that you can feel like, you know what, they have been working, wacha niambe mwili pole nini nonsense, hiyo vile tunajidanganyanga, so that you can spend money on useless things. Yeah, that statement. So you just end up doing things and you're like, you're looking at that money and you're just like, let me just plan for you, because if I don't plan for you, there's somebody else who's going to suffer. So it made me think about so many other ways that I can make money, or so many other ways that I can make my money work for me, and like, you know, saving for a rainy day and stuff like that, like thinking how I can improve the quality of my kids' life. Like if they need to do extracurricular activities, you know, impromptu, you don't have to like freak out and be like, oh my god, where am I going to get this money? No, like you have that covered. Like if they're going to need, you know, just something abruptly, because kids always, for some reason, something abrupt always just happens. God knows why, but something abrupt just always happens, and you find yourself spending money on something that you hadn't budgeted for. So you always have to have like a small kitty somewhere, like a kitty bank somewhere, that just keeps money for you, just in case something is to go wrong or something is to go right, and you need to, you know, spend, because of course you don't want your kid to miss out like on trips. Hey, kama mimi nikikumbuka vile nilikuwa na miss trips, nilikuwa nasikia vibaya, trips za shule, trips sijui za nini. Those are the things I would not like want him to miss. So it made me be very much more aware of how I spend my money. Not to say that I do not spoil myself, not to say that I do not buy myself things that I want, but of course I will plan for it, or even if I don't plan for it, I will make sure I don't do like impulse buying to an extent that will really hurt me, or will really make it in a way that I've spent so much money that it's going to make me hard to it's going to be hard to recover from that. You know, like if you spend money on something unwanted, nikakupea msee do, unajua msee hivi rudishie hii do, so you're just like, you know what, wewe chukua tu, and you're willing to lose that money and it won't affect you. It's the same thing when you're buying something, you should be willing to lose the money and it doesn't affect, you know, how you move forward from there. Like it doesn't really make that big of a dent to you or to your account. Another thing I had to learn or to compromise, not really compromise on, but like just to be okay with, is not being there for every function that my friends are going to hold, or not being there every time my friends wanted to invite me somewhere, because it's either I'm going to come with my son, or like I feel like it's going to be too much of a hassle to go with Fabian. So I'm just like, you know what, there's no point of me going kubebana na mtoto or nini and all those things. So it just makes you be more aware. It makes you be more aware of the time that you spend, or how you spend your time basically, because of that. Mimi nakwambia kutembea na mtoi is a lot of work. You have to think about carrying for them extra clothes that they're going to wear, because you can never, till today, I never go anywhere with Fabian without an extra pair of clothes and an extra pair of shoes, because with kids you never really know. So imagine now going with an infant. So you have to carry an extra pair of clothes, you have to carry an extra pair of shoes, you have to carry food, snacks, so that you can make sure that this kid is okay. You have to carry a blanket, because just in case you end up staying out late, you need to have something warm that is not their sweater. You understand? Like, you just have to be very prepared. And for you to be that prepared, it means that you're carrying a lot of bags. And if you're not driving, if you're taking an Uber, if you're taking a matatu, that is a lot of work. So you end up weighing the options of whether, like, okay. And then on top of that, you have to remember that you might make your friends change the place that you're meeting so that it can be baby friendly, because you cannot go with a kid to the club, you cannot go with a kid to a noisy place, you understand? So at the same time, you feel like you're inconveniencing people, or you're inconveniencing the plans that people have made. And then on top of that, you feel like if you leave people with your kids, like you're not sure whether they're going to take care of your kid very well, or you're not sure maybe if you go, something bad is going to happen, you understand? So you're just like, you know what, all these things are too much for me, let me just stay home. So you end up missing on a lot of meetups where your friends meet up. You end up missing on a lot of gigs. If you're somebody who goes for like events and stuff like that, you're going to end up missing on a lot of those. And it's not because you can't go for them, you can, but at the same time, there's a lot of planning that goes into you being able to leave your kid and being able to do something for yourself, because at the end of the day, you still have to live your life, but you're not going to live your life every day. See, every weekend inakuja unaambia mom, check kana mtoi, ama you tell the kids that kana mtoi, ama you tell, you know, your husband kana mtoi. You know, you still have to be a present parent at the end of the day. So being able to juggle being a present parent, you know, being a present friend, being a present partner, being a present daughter, it's a lot of things to be able to juggle for one person. So you really have to be in the right state of mind to be able to accommodate all these new titles that you're going to receive, because once you become a mom, you're a doctor, you're a chef, your kid sees you as everything. They see you as the one person who's going to solve for them all the problems in their life. So you have to wear those shoes and wear them gladly. Let me tell you, like, it's like you don't have any other option, but at the same time, you still have an option. Like, it's a very tricky space to be in. And you know, of course, in your early 20s, you want to live your life, you want to make your memories, you know, like, I can't say like during that time I have the same mental space that I have right now. Not mental space, like the mental capability, you know, like being able to sit down and actually go through like your self-discovery process, knowing who you are, knowing like the things that you like, knowing the things that you don't like, you know, knowing that this is the path that I want to take. Like you're constantly changing, and at that point or during that time you are unable, like personally I don't think I even knew half the things that I know right now. Even half, like quarter of the things that I know right now I didn't know then. And it's taken time, and it's taken a lot of reflection basically to be able to know those things. The lesson that I've learned at that time is that, you know, like you postpone a lot of being able to know yourself basically, because you're busy being a parent to another human being that you forget about yourself, and you start remembering yourself somewhere along the line when you start feeling like, wait, what the hell is happening? You know, like all my time is being spent here with this child. What about me? That's when you now start saying like, oh, there's also somebody like me who I need to worry about, you understand? So there's a lot of self-discovery that you're going to postpone if you choose to have a kid in your early 20s. Like you're going to postpone a lot of things, and you need to be okay with that. Like don't feel like you're lagging behind, or don't feel like you're missing out when your friends are going out. Like never ever feel like you made a wrong decision, or never ever feel like, wow, why did I even do this? Like like just accept that this is now who you are, this is now how your life is going to be, and just try as much as possible to adjust your life and everything that you do around this new title that you have, because it's not hard, but at the same time it's hard. But at the same time you can be able to have a balance between the two, a balance between being a mom, and a balance between being like who you want to be and achieving your own dreams. Because at the end of the day, your child is still going to grow up and going to, you know, move out and do their own things with their own friends and, you know, all those things. So you also have to have your own things going on. Because like right now, Fabian normally tells me, like if I tell him we go somewhere, he'll be like, no, may I have plans with my friends, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. So I have to like remove him from my own plans, or think of like how I'm going to do my own plans, because now he's told me he has his own plans, you know. Like it's already a clear example. Like this is somebody who has their own, you know, their own mind. Like they think for themselves, they also have things that they want to do for themselves. So you also have to be the same. As much as you're taking care of this young person and trying to bring them up to be the best version of themselves that they can be, you also have to put in the same energy in yourself to be able to be the best version that you want to be. So yeah, that's basically the most important points that I can think about. So if you're in this space and you found yourself being pregnant in your early 20s, let me tell you, I am living proof and living what is it called? Living evidence that it's workable, it's doable, and you'll still end up having quite a normal life as compared to your friends who have not had kids in their early 20s. Because at the end of the day, it's your life, you have your own journey, you have your own path, and our paths can never look alike, but we can go through similar experiences that make us feel like we can relate, and those are the experiences that bring us together and make us all connected as parents. So thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. If you've made it this far, thank you so much. I love you. As usual, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell button so that you can receive a notification every time that I post a new video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to live, love, be anything that you want to be. Bye guys.